Let me tell you plainly, you're young, you're sitting before me. I'm feeling as much excitement as I'm going to feel when I go to the IIT campus today. I get excited only when I see young people. I'll tell you why. Because we oldies have messed up this everything. So it's the hope of this world is the next generation, the young generation. So I'm very happy that the young people want to at least listen with an open mind and think over it. I'm not saying do this, do that. I said listen, think, and then find out your own way of looking at things, because we want to. Sometimes I feel we are on the brink of a war. And who is responsible for it? We, our generation, not the young. The young are kind of trying to brainwash the young so that they also become part of it, but it's not basically the responsibility of the young. The young have to change. The seeds of change have to be sown in their minds. So I am the happiest when I see young people. I am already 70, but I think physical age is not so important. Even today I am ready to take a motorbike ride. So it's the mind that matters. Keep the mind young. That's what I tell our friends who are somewhat my age or some younger than me.
Is this the consciousness that the youngsters today need to have, that no matter how old they become, they still need to?
Yes, because I have seen young, so-called young people, at the age of 25, 26, 30, they say, oh, we have become old, we can't do this. I said, no. Keep your mind fresh and open always. Don't stop learning. The moment you stop learning, you have become senile, you're dead actually. So keep your mind open. So that is the message I want to give also to the young, that you are young, utilize your time. Don't wait and say, oh, I am become 25, 30 years old, what can I do now? You can do many things. Keep your mind open.
One delusion that the young always falls into is what the older generation is saying, or whatever is going on in the social media, they let them affect themselves.
Yes.
How do you think we can combat that in present time?
Okay. Can I say something? Let a group of young people, thinking, intelligent, cerebral young people, start IT portals which go completely different from what we have now. Because you can't escape from IT. It's become part of our life. You cannot escape. You can't say, I'll shut that up, but it doesn't work. So have parallel IT portals going from the young, which is constructive, and so that the people spend more time looking at it, accessing it, than going back to all the old stuff. This is very important. And it should consist only of the young. Don't get anybody else. You can go and learn from somebody who knows about it. They don't include the guy, you do it yourself. Lots can be done. Today the influence of IT cannot be understated. It's such a big thing. What is happening today will go 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 miles in half a minute or half a second. Now this is a great potential. It has its negative points, I understand, but it has great potential. So create new material into it. Don't discard it. So for that you need a dedicated band of young people who start portals which are really creative, inspiring, something new. This is my advice to the youth.
But there is so much available today that one in the nascent stages, say for example people like me, who have so much access to information that we often do not know what is true and what is false. So how to demarcate that, how to understand the difference between the truth and the non-truth?
It's very difficult. I can't find any shortcut formula for this, but all I'm saying is, whatever comes before you, don't just lap it up. Keep it for a while and think about it carefully before deciding whether you really should agree, believe or accept it or not. Because we are bombarded with so much material that the bombardment itself becomes like a brainwashing. So we should keep our minds alert, saying that it may be IT, like people say, What is the meaning of, oh, this is the meaning. Where did you find it? In Google. What is the guarantee that Google doesn't go wrong? There is no guarantee. Maybe it's wrong information. So check other informations. Not depend on one, like, all I'm saying is keep your mind open. Don't draw conclusions fast. You should get information, but you shouldn't conclude anything from it. Keep it fresh and look at it a couple of times properly before you decide. It's very important. Which is meaning to put in one word or two words, a critical mind is important.
In today's time, when we have so much access to negativity, how can one actually find those sources of positivity?
The sources of positivity, a kind of a blueprint can be found if you exactly understand what you think is negative. If you really understand what is negative, study it properly, then you kind of know what is positive. So you can go in the other direction. Don't look, you cannot be free of a situation or a problem or a knowledge, what is called knowledge design, this is a new word, which you have, unless you study it. So if it is bad, if it is evil, still don't just ignore it, don't sweep it under the rug, study it. When you study it, then only you will know how to get out of it. So studying carefully is important without letting your mind get influenced. Then you will figure out what to do next, how to avoid it. In this life, when you face problems, the shortcut is sweep it under the rug, forget it, go for a music or listen or get drunk so your central nervous system is totally paralyzed and you think you're free for some time. But you can't solve the problem that way. By rubbing it off your mind, it doesn't go, it sticks inside in the subconscious. So face it, study it, see how it operates under different dimensions, in different ways, in different situations. Then one day you will come upon how to solve it. If you don't study it, you cannot solve it.
I feel that often a common factor of not studying the problem is the fear of the outcome. How to make oneself that strong so as to not to be afraid by that fear that dominates the mind?
Look, the sky is not going to fall on your head, please. Unless and until you are ready to face some kind of danger and ready to take the challenge, nothing new or nothing challenging can be done. Look, all the great inventions we have had, and not forget about spiritual, social, even scientific inventions, are when somebody said, I don't know, maybe this is not right, I'll find out. This is the basis of all knowledge we have today. So you have to have that courage to face and say, no, it may be wrong. Society might react in different ways. So what? Who cares? All things worthwhile in this world has come from people who stood and said, I want to find the truth no matter what society is saying. Galileo, when he said the world is round and not flat, he was put in jail. But today, you see that? So we need to accept this challenge. Einstein turned the whole world of physics on its head. And he was not a highly educated man. He was a tally clerk. And all his work he did on receipts which were issued for tally. Well, he did study in Germany, of course. He studied physics and of course mathematics. So you need to think that if things need to change, I need to study the problem and take steps bravely and courageously, not wanting to go down. See, I'll tell you what, in this world which is run with money mostly, many channels, for instance, can be bought over with money. I'm not saying about anybody in particular. Yeah? So is there somebody who can stand up and say, I don't want your money, I'm going to speak the truth? Difficult. But if somebody does that, it will be a master stroke.
The times that our country, India, is going through, on one side we have the environmental issues that we need to take care of. On the other side there is terrorism that's really bothering us. And we youngsters often wage into Twitter wars. Do you think it is correct to jump to those conclusions and
No.
ask for wars?
No. I think, yes, there are realities like terrorism and all that. But we need to solve this problem not by hatred, but by understanding. Not through hatred. Hate cannot solve any problem. Hate only compounds problems. It increases the problem. So instead of saying, oh, this is a man, he is a terrorist, or these are terrorists, we have, okay, I understand if somebody is coming to throw a bomb at you, you need defense, you need to stop it, all that I understand. However, to solve the problem at its root, you need to open up a channel of understanding, a dialogue. You cannot do it through force. It's impossible. Even 10 people, if they hold on to a conviction and are ready to die for it, what will happen if you kill them? Nothing will happen. See? So I understand. If somebody is coming to bomb or industrial areas, you need to stop it. In that process, somebody might get killed also. That's also understandable. But the root of the problem is different. It's to make the human being understand that this is not the right thing to do. So while we do this, we should also have a parallel approach to open a dialogue, which unfortunately I find is not happening.
I should say, advice or tip or habit that you think that we youngsters can inculcate in our daily lives to be able to think better?
It's a paradox. You're asking a 70-year-old man how young people should think. Well, I think like you, so it's okay. One thing is, never think that you know everything. It's a very important step. Say that there may be somebody who knows more than me. Humility comes from that. But I may not know everything. I know some subjects. Somebody else may know something more. So open your mind to that. The other is, if failure happens, don't hold on and hang on to, oh, I failed. Look at the causes of failure, work out why it happened and how you can overcome it, and you have success in front of you. All great people who have succeeded have failed many times. Thomas Alva Edison tried 100 times to make the electric bulb. The 101st one became what we have today. Flick of a switch, we are in light. What if he had given up? Thank you very much. Thanks.